there has to come a time when you have to know that God knows better than you do. This is day 3 of my series, Building the Life That I Prayed For. And it's interesting because I did a post on my Instagram for the Netflix documentaries. And I basically said something along the lines of what did I say?
When you think you're getting married to one thing and you're really getting married to something else.
Listen, that was it. I thought I was marrying a music producer, but instead God was preparing me to become a pastor's wife. And it's so interesting because I tell a lot of that testimony a lot, but I've never did it in long form. So I'm excited to dive into this subject matter because obviously before I got married, I was single for like 12 years. And I'm talking about from like 18, obviously, and on till what I got married around 32, 33. And it's interesting because I rather live through authenticity. And a lot of things that I say, I feel like a lot of times what a lot of women specifically think about, whether it's like good for them or bad for them. But I'm just going to give the journey on what that looked like and do a little story time. So when I married my husband, even when we started dating, I started dating him as me knowing that he was in church. We went to the same church. I knew that he was very gifted in a lot of things. However, I also knew that he liked music a lot. So he was producing multiple different artists and things of that nature. And he already produced a lot of, I don't know if I want to consider them A-list, B-list celebrities. So I was like, okay, cool. This is what I can see myself doing. Cool. I do not desire to be in the studio like that at all. I'm not the studio girl. But however, I like to get a nice little chunk of change. Like I like a bag, okay? I'm a wealthy girl from the heart. So I knew, okay, he gonna have some coin because I don't have the married potential. Like he's good at what he does. So when we got married, he was still into music, still doing his thing. And we were still in church. He still was like over the youth. So it was like a combination of like, he's called, to this area, but God is still using him in all of the areas. As we got married and life began to, go on, it started to be the best of both worlds, but then it kind of began to go towards church side. And I was like, all right, this isn't what I signed up for. Can I give my heart? In my mind, I never wanted to date a man that was in church 24/7. I'm going to give you my thought before you run with it. I did not, because I know that I'm called to outside of the 4 walls. I'm not called to be at church 24/7. Some people are, some people aren't. For Jessica, I'm called to disrupt a lot of areas outside of the 4 walls and bring Jesus into so many arenas. So I did not want to be caught up in that element 24/7. So I needed a man that knew who he was and was able to go in different areas, because I am a chameleon. Okay, I can go into environments, meet new people, do those type of things. So when we got married and we started to go to the church side, if I could be transparent, we started to get in some arguments because I was just like, hold on now. I signed up for this. I signed up for this guy. And it wasn't even arguments really with him. It was really me arguing with God. Like, okay, God, I know you didn't sit up here and play me. And sometimes I just want to give this disclaimer that when we're in the midst of something, when you don't desire to consult the Lord on what he's doing, and we just want to just be so angry at life or be upset, or you feel like your life is going this way and you want it to go this way because this is what you signed up for, or this is what you want to do. Sometimes it could be flesh, and sometimes it could just be, you got to let God cook. You got to let him do what he does best, which is he's the author and finisher of your life, of your faith. Like he knows the beginning, he knows the end. He is the author. He is the author of your book, of your life. And so as life began to go on, eventually, he gets ordained as a pastor. And then that journey kind of became what I also said I was never going to do. Y'all watch the nevers. Watch the nevers. Because when you say you're never going to do something, I'll never be a pastor's wife. I'll never sign up for this, baby. It usually comes full circle. So watch those. But it's interesting how I feel like God chooses the ones that he knows don't want to do it. Like, it's something about he be up there cackling, because in my mind, if you would have told me we've been married, it will be 6 years in March. I almost said February. 6 years in March. February is my birthday. That's right. It'll be 6 years in March. If you would have told me even 7 years ago, hey Jessica, this is what your life is going to look like, I would laugh so hard, because I thought I knew what I wanted out of life. And so this is what I want to encourage with realizing what God wants to do, with me building the life that I prayed for. The prayers that I have like literally prayed forth 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago looks like the life that I'm living now. It's interesting when you're going through it, and even in the way that he wants it to be designed, it's not always what you can see with the physical eye. His output is the same. Like his output, your art output, what the way your heart, the way he designed your heart will be the same. Like in the end, he will get the glory. He will get his way, and he will make sure the way he designed you, you will get your way as well. But to get there, you have to trust that God has the most best interests of you in mind, and understanding as well, what does it look like to go through the journey and believing by faith that his promises will always come to pass. He's not a liar. He's not a God that lies. And so when I did that post for the Netflix documentary, it was interesting, because I'm like, this is my real life. But how I think about it is, if there was a point in time that I struggled with this, how many other women may be struggling in their marriage, or even in their single life, on waiting for the promise to happen, being in the in-between. What does it look like to trust God when you don't see the promise happening as quickly as you want it to? Because you know he usually has you take this route instead of just this route. Like he because the point of it is that he wants to grow you. And I wanted my husband to give his spin. Even if he wants to take us on a little story time, I'll let him have his time, because I feel like at the end of the day, if I can help more people, men and women, married and single, get through hard times when you think your life may be going a certain way, even though I feel like he knew in the deep, you know what I mean, inside of his heart, he knew what I felt like ultimately what God wanted to do with him and through his marriage with me. But just realizing where we are now and any pointers that he may have.
I think it's a good conversation. I think it'll help a lot of people, especially your transparency and being authentic in a way to share your perspective of the events.
Not of the events.
Because here's the thing, man. I think we got to understand that she didn't marry a producer. She didn't marry a pastor either. She married BJ. And I think we got to be careful of marrying people by seasons.
That's good.
Like, because in one season you may be a pastor, in the next season you may be a producer, and when God circles back around to the producer, you could have got comfortable being a pastor's wife, and now it's something totally different. So we don't choose people based on seasons. Like, the best way you can, and I know we did it, like, before you marry somebody, you got to ask God to show you who that person is.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, man, you can marry somebody and they're the janitor today, but who knows if they'll be the CEO tomorrow. And the janitor life versus the CEO life is two totally different lives. Not even just talking about financially, talking about time, commitment, things that they can do and they cannot do, traveling. Like, so you just got to really be cognizant that, like, dang, I'm marrying this person today, but this person may be in a totally different season of their life 5 years from now. And if I've only married them for a season that I thought was going to be the entire story, then I may be disappointed. You know, the Bible talks about, like, hope deferred. You know, hope deferred or hope delayed makes the heart sick. And a lot of times we're sick, or our heart is sick, is because we are still fantasizing or longing for a season that may not come. That could have just been the way that you met that person. And if that was the whole reason why you married that person, you're gonna be miserable. You gotta marry the person, and if you don't, I think it'll just be tough. Thank God you married the person and not just the position, because that could have been a deterrent, right? Or you can be so against the season that you'll convince your spouse out of their purpose, and then both of y'all gonna be miserable.
Okay. What about are you marrying potential or do you not marry potential? Where are we at? How can we help?
Everything is potential. But you don't necessarily marry potential. You marry fruit. You gotta be able to measure that fruit at least. Like, it may not be a big watermelon, but you gotta see it growing.
Yeah.
Like, it may not be the end result, but you gotta see the fruit. Like, does this person keep their word? I know people, this is real cliche to a lot of people. And they're like, well, how does that person treat his mama? You should ask him how he treats the women that are most important in his life.
Yeah.
Because if he don't treat them good, chances are, once he get comfortable with you, he gonna treat you the same way.
Yeah.
Vice versa, right?
Vice
Does he have friends? Does she have friends?
Yeah.
Or is this person coming to you saying, I don't do relationships? I don't got no friends. That's a red flag. Because then it's like, well, dang, I can't ask nobody.
Or like his relationships are only women, or her relationships are only men.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that don't even sound right. Because then once y'all get married, what you gonna do with all these female friends?
Yeah.
What you gonna do with all these male friends? You know, and I think marriage is not complicated. I just think sometimes culture teaches us how to ask the wrong questions. We got to pay attention to money is a big thing, sure.
Yes.
But not as it relates to the amount, as it relates to stewardship.
Yeah.
Because that woman can have a lot of money when y'all meet, but if they're a horrible steward,
they'll lose it all.
Yeah. So all that stuff don't even. We've seen people lose houses.
Yeah.
Lose cars. Like, crisis. How does that person respond in times of crisis?
Yeah.
Can they get you out of the crisis, or do they just want to quit everything and run when a fire show up? That's the question to me. So that's why I think this is a good conversation, because it forces people to look deeper than occupation.
Yeah, surface. Yeah. That's good.
That's all I got.
That's good. Wow. Wow. And me and him, we can, baby, these topics, which is why we need to be doing our podcast. We need to be doing so many things. And this is like maybe even me just throwing it on my YouTube. Because at the end of the day, building the life that I prayed for, building the life that you prayed for, what does it look like for God to disrupt it? You still get the end goal, but he takes you on a journey that will make you a better woman, a better man in the end. For yourself first, and then for everybody around you. This was good. This was good for day 3. I'm really excited that you have joined me on this series. I hope you subscribed. I hope this helped you as you move forward with whatever capacity God has you building in this season. And that is the word for today, for day 3. I'm excited to see you tomorrow for day 4, and I'll see you soon.